Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the History of Fan Anime. I'm your host, William Chow, and today's episode is another one of the episodes you've been waiting for, the MyAnimeList. And the year now is going to be 1988. This is a pretty big year again. Lots of good blockbuster movies and that kind of stuff coming out. 1987 was really big because it had like 50 OVAs that came out. So, I mean, that was like a crazy year for new anime releases. But so this year, I'm going to have to do the same thing. I'll probably have to break the episode into two. So again, if you want to follow up on the TV series and that kind of stuff that came out in the previous year, do check the video for that. And then you can, catch up and find out what you know. But now, before I begin, don't forget to go down below, click like, and click subscribe. Again, about 50% of you guys are subscribed, and that's great. Again, I hope that the remaining of you, I've earned your subscription, and you go down and click that red button there for subscribe. And again, great if you guys could also click that bell for notifications, because again, I'm getting up there. At least now YouTube now recommends 20% of my videos, so that's a little bit better, I suppose. But yeah, again, the only way that you find out about the videos and that kind of stuff is again clicking that notification bell. All right. So 1988. Okay, so here I am. I've already sort of spent sort of my first sort of year in kind of university now, and I'm on to the second one sort of thing. I'm going around sort of, this is where I first sort of got my part-time job working at Radio Shack, okay? Because, I wanted to make some money on the side while I'm going to, university. And so here's where I started getting a little more spending money to start, getting more into anime in 1988, okay? So this is where I really was at the height of my, interest and that kind of stuff. I'm opening these Animedia and New Type magazines, and these are the titles that I'm seeing, right? So without further delay, let's begin. Okay, so we start off with the spring of 1988. This is the second season of 1988. So right off the top, we have the new series City Hunter 2. So after 51 episodes of City Hunter 1, they've obviously thought it was just popular enough that they make a second series. And so again, more adventures of Cyber-Yo and his city sweeping, and a lot of the episodes were pretty good. A lot more dramatic and two-parter episodes in this series. So that was really really nice about that series. And it was really definitely worth following. The second one here, we got Yorten Samurai Troopers. Okay, so a lot of people know this as Ronin Warriors. Again, another attempt from Sunrise to basically sell action figures and that kind of stuff. And I think the one thing that really surprised directors and that kind of stuff was that this thing had a really huge female following. Now, I did an episode back with the rise of the boy band or Seiyu band called NG5, which is basically all the 5 Seiyu guys from Samurai Troopers making a band. And so this really alerted the anime directors to realize that hey, there is this whole other market, not just guys, okay, that women also like to watch anime. And so this is really spurred the start of, hey, maybe we should start releasing animes which are more charged with women too, right? And so hopefully from now we'll see a little more of that kind of stuff going on. And the last title here is Hello Lady Lin. I guess another one of these candy offshoots, and just no one knows what that is, so we'll skip over that one. Okay, and going move along here, we have F, which is like F1 car racing type of stuff, and it's really rough kind of artwork. It kind of reminds me of the old backy motorcycle racing and that kind of stuff. But it's I did get a random assortment of episodes of that one. Nothing really complete on that one, but again, cars wasn't really my big thing, so I didn't really follow it too much. But I had a handful of episodes. The next one is Transformers Chojin Master Force. Okay, so they translated this to Super God Master Force here. But the surprising thing about it is, again, we didn't really, trade too much, Transformers, because we sort of had kind of Transformers. Just it was a different part of Transformers, and we only had the Transformers the movie, which was more exciting than this kind of Transformers. But the interesting thing is that, this Transformers didn't actually come out in England, okay, of all places, until 2006. So it took 18 years. 18 years for this thing to finally get released on DVD in England, okay? And to top it off, it took them an additional 6 more years before it finally came out in the US in 2012. So 24 years after it came out, they finally decided, hey, we can get the rights to this and we can actually do it. So this is really digging deep into the garbage pile of, things to release when it's 20 years old before they realize, yeah, okay, we can make some more money by selling it to the stupid people overseas and that really need this Transformer stuff, right? And so I'm sure they paid a pretty dollar to get it, and who knows if they made their money back or not. But definitely, it was to the delight of all the Transformers fans that are out there. Okay, and the last thing on this line again, another police show like we have in Britain. We seem to have a lot of these kind of protective, but this is more of a Sentai type of stuff, right? Because these Sonic Soldier Borgman. Okay, so again, I like this series because again, this is artwork from the Kiyomiya Michitaka Kikuchi combo, and basically, it's that's probably about as close as closer to like a Sentai type of show where the guys are kind of transformed from like regular people into like armored people, armored protectors of the earth, that type of thing, and then they try to beat back this this Yoma invasion and all that other stuff. So it was really cool. And again, I like the artwork, especially popular characters like Anise and their and other female characters were really a big thing in this thing. And so good artwork, it kind of interesting story. Again, if you like that Sentai kind of feel, Power Rangers type of feel, then this is a good anime for that. And it's good, it's well placed in its time too. Okay, and then we all continue on. We get the Wataru. Okay, so this is basically for those who played Keith Courage on the TurboGrafx. This is the anime that this is based on. And again, if you play Language Mobile, they did a crossover event which has Wataru as well. So this is where this anime comes from. Now I think when I got the episodes from Yoshi, which is Ace's friend, that created the episodes when. I think I got like a handful of episodes of Wataru for him. Also, this next anime, the Monorari Onisan, I think I got like one episode or two, of that one too, and just didn't really resonate, or just I guess it was a little bit harder to understand, the type of episodes that is. So we didn't really get many episodes of that, and of course it wasn't really traded around very much. So that was really kind of difficult for it. The other one here is also What's Michael? So this is an anime about cats. It's I guess you can say it's not quite as say humorous as say for example Garfield or something of the same nature. But this is the Japanese version of the lives of a cat kind of thing. Again, very few people had this one. I mean, I think I did just see the odd person have that one on their list. So the episodes weren't abundantly available. That's for sure. Okay, and the last two here, Dr. Chibiyuma. again, no one ever heard about this one. Although I think later on in time, when we get into perverted doctor stories, I think night shift nurses and things like that, really readily come to mind. But anyway, the next one after that is Ikinari Dagon. Again, another relatively unknown anime. Okay, so that takes care of the new TV series, and now we'll just scroll ahead past all the previous ones. Again, if you want to know anything about these episodes, go to the previous episode for 1988 season 1. Alright, so right at the very top here for OVAs, okay, is the S series of the Pat Labor TV series. And you can see just from the top row here, this is the rise of Mamoru Oshii. I mean, he did like Twilight Q and like Delos and that kind of stuff. But I think this is really his very first sort of really big hit, other than Earth Hits, I guess. But I mean, this is like this is one of my favorite sort of hits that he's got. that he's gonna start off and really launch his career here. So Pat Labor, very good series. This is like the third series that we actually subtitled after Mizuno Kaku. Really like Daisuke was really interested in that series, so he really went off in that one. That was really fun. His favorite character was Goto, right? So really strange guy. So that worked really well. Also, we have the next is Appleseed. So again, the rise of Masamune Shiro and his artwork. So this is this is going to be a good pairing when Mamoru and Masamune Shiro get together and do Ghost in the Shell in the future. That's really good. So again, another two rising popular artists and directors going together here, and so again nice action sort of flick as well. And Dominion Tank Police is also again another Shiro work. So again, really rise of all these really good comic based sort of in the futuristic police type of things. Really good series of shows here to start off the OVAs for 1988. Okay, so the next line here we have Project A-ko 3, the third installment for the Project A-ko series, Cinderella Rhapsody. This one's kind of fun and more fun and wackiness that the Project A-ko gives. The other neat significant thing about this one, the songs that they have for Project A-ko, which is Get a Chance by Babi, was one of the very few songs that actually ranked in the top 100 for the year in terms of anime songs. Okay, so basically, if you check back at my previous episode where I counted down the top 100 songs of 1988 by a show called Best 10, and Project A-ko actually ranked as well as Char's Counterattack. Both had songs that made it to the top 100 at the end of the year. What else? Next one is Kajugo, or we always knew it as the Peacock King. This is a neat sort of kind of evil and priest thing. It was actually pretty good. Like the art style was again very similar to the things like sort of a more realistic look like thing. Kind of reminds me of Grappler Baki in many sort of ways too. But yeah, that one was a fairly popular one. A little edgy, like like most, but it was a very good story and concept was designed. And the last one here is Tokyo Vice. So now this one is another one of my favorite ones because again, this is sort of it has that look of like another more of these futuristic cop type shows. But this the director is, or the character designer, is very familiar. Has done quite a few other shows that are pretty significant at this time. He did the Yodo Den movie. He also does Metal Armor Dragonar. He also does the character design for Digimon and Earthian. And then later on, he'll do one of my other favorite sort of animes, Tenkosei, which is one of the ones that I really liked at that time. So again, pretty famous sort of guy at this time. Okay, so we're gonna scan ahead here and then come up to the next one called Antique Heart. Now this is a pretty cool one. This one is kind of a one shot OVA. The neat thing about this one is the manga, or the manga artist is Shu Katayama. She was also known for Dragon Fist, which is also I mentioned in recently. So again, two really relatively neat sort of OVAs that sort of came out recently under her. The character design was done from Minoru Yamazawa, and there's not a lot of significant details that he did on this particular Cleopatra DC high school agent, but his big break will happen when he releases Yu Yu Hakusho. Okay. And he's on the character design list of that particular show. But anyway, yeah, this is kind of a neat kind of supernatural type of series, one shot. It's and pretty good artwork on this one, so it's a pretty popular series that it was traded around a bit obscure because again not that many people had copies of it, but whatever was available, it definitely was a pretty neat traded title. Next one is Zillion. So this is the OVAs for Zillion. Last Burning Night. So again, more OVA episodes for the TV series Zillion. The next one is called Mahjong Hitsuritsu Naka no Ryu. Now, I ran across this one. I know from a video rental. Now, I realized that this particular OVA has maybe a little bit more significance to me, because of my upbringing and whatnot, than probably more than anyone else. And really, that's probably why really nobody else had this video, and nobody else really asked for this video. So it just became one of those lost in the basically non-distribution, non-subtitled, non-translated version, right? The thing, so it's a guy who basically knows how to play mahjong and gambles and that kind of stuff. I guess the modern version would be like something like the God of Gamblers. But when I was growing up, back in 1980, I was watching this Chinese drama called Xiwang Xiwang. With the help of my mom and my parents, I was watching this show, and one particular scene when they were playing mahjong really stuck with me, because I was again learning how to play this game and just trying to teach my friends. Even at the young age of 10 years old, here I am trying to learn how to play mahjong. And I still to this day, I still don't know some of the particular rules of like Hong Kong mahjong. But it's just really interesting that I'm watching the scene, and it's really kind of just seeing how literally impossible and it's just outrageous the situation is. But the thing is, it really feels stuck me. It's just it's kind of neat that I can actually go and search the title, and actually they've got a newly translated Mandarin version of this classic Hong Kong flick out there. Also, part of the reason why the song, the theme song for it, done by Lisa Wang, really stuck with me. And I remember I have like an old audio cassette tape which I used, and I just did one of those. I had one of these Radio Shack tape recorders, and I just placed the tape recorder in front of the TV. You just press record, and just recorded the 30-second opening theme song, and that's basically all I had for a song. Is like 30 seconds of the song, which is basically the first verse, first chorus, and then end, right? And yeah, so just with a little bit of help, with identifying the song, and I think YouTube was actually pretty useful. I think because I don't think I was able to Shazam it at that time, and I think the quality is just so poor that even YouTube had a little problem with it. But yeah, managed to track it down. Yeah, so Lisa Wang does the theme song for Qiwang Qiwang, and it's still very famous, even to today. And anyway, so the scene really caught me again. So this being a mahjong scene was very significant. And again, this is one of those animes that probably only significant to me and probably not significant to anybody else. But that just sort of my personal history on that one. Okay, and the last row here is more of the God Mars series. So they released another OVA for the God Mars TV series, and two other titles which are not very familiar to me. I have no idea what either of these are, and I've not recalled any of these ones ever. I mean, again, so probably one of those ones that no one ever got a copy of it, and no one ever distributed it because it's just so insignificant in terms of where they placed, right? But definitely God Mars. Again, I think of most people that traded things, the OVAs and the movies were obviously the biggest things that they had. The TV series was just, I think, a little bit too old, and no one really had copies of. Well, at least no one had any good copies of that series. That was readily tradable, or even viewable for that matter, during that time. Okay, and then we scroll ahead to the movies now. Okay, well, so there's not very many movies, and the two big ones are really big ones right off the bat. Two Ghibli movies here. Tonori no Totoro, so My Neighbor Totoro, and Grave of the Fireflies. Okay, so again, two really big and very different Studio Ghibli films. All right, so obviously nice sort of family friendly, really happy sort of kind of child's movie. And then of course now the Grave of the Fireflies are really realistic portrayal, very sad movie too. What the I remember always dreaded putting this on the our anime showcases, because we knew that as soon as we put this one on, this is gonna really make the audience really it puts the mood right down. It's really really somber, and it's like it's like it's just a killer movie. But it was really but it's well done, right? It's very very well done, very 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 good. And again, you really can't go too wrong with the Studio Ghibli movie. And then the last one is of course Jinro. I have no idea what that is, so just but anyway, so this one definitely had two really good movies for this particular season here. Okay, and the last one. Okay, and the very last there is some just random OVA specials. There we got the Dragon Ball specials, which are just basically 2 episodes of the original series of Dragon Ball. They're really just like kind of like public service announcements, or whatever just Dragon Ball does, how to do public safety kind of stuff, which is like it was funny at the time, and a lot of people actually wanted to trade them around, and so I ended up getting copies of them, but they were like really, really horrible. So, and again, at the time, no translation, just the fact that it was kind of obvious. It was just a kind of a PSA type of thing. But the other really important one was Hurricane Live 2032, and this one, of course, is the basically the quote, the Bubblegum Crisis characters in a kind of live concert type of thing. And this was really big because everyone really liked the Bubblegum Crisis music, right? Kanyo Hurricane was one of the biggest sort of poppiest sort of songs done by Pris and the Replicants, right? So they're super popular. And again, a lot of people download this, of course, knowing full well it's a music video. It's 30-minute music videos essentially. And again, this is the spawn of a lot of things like AMVs and all this other stuff was a really big thing at this time. And again, all you people that are digitally making AMVs and that kind of stuff now, you gotta have to realize that this is still 1988, right? We still haven't got Windows 95 for 7 years now, right? So we are dealing with really archaic editing systems here, right? We have to do it manually using VCRs and doing tape editing. And I've done an episode where I've made a music video using AMVs using the old-fashioned method, and you can just see how much work it takes to do an edit and to do it linearly, right? Because you got to start from the beginning and work to the end. You just can't drop stuff in the middle and go back and make corrections and that kind of stuff. You just you have to work continuously and linearly. Okay, go ahead and check that out if you want to just see how I did an AMV using tape editing. Okay, so I went over 20 minutes again, so I'm gonna have to leave season 3 and seasons 4 for the next episodes. So to round up, now I'm going to give you my best selections for this particular season, and then I guess later on I'll have to do and look at all 4 seasons and then make the best of 1988 episode. Okay, so do subscribe and hit notifications on for those in the future. Okay, but right now, what are my top suggestions? And if you're limited on time and whatnot, and you want a good suggestion for animes, these are my recommendations. Okay, so for TV series, there's a couple TV series that came out in this particular year, in this time period, but the ones I would recommend definitely that had a long-lasting significance would be City Hunter 2, the TV series, long-awaited series that continued on with the success of City Hunter 1. City Hunter 2, of course, now the advantage of being renewed again, they did a lot of episodes which were now 2-parters, so basically 1 hour long episodes, which was really really nice in this particular series. My second suggestion would be Yoritiden Samurai Troopers. Okay, so again, You know, uh, basically modern day, samurai type of, people fighting basically enemies in a modern, scenario. Okay, and it is one of the very significant animes in the fact that, although on the surface it seems like a, guys fighting type of thing, like, i.e., for example, like Saint Seiya and that kind of stuff, for example, primarily marketed to sell you action figures, but, you know because of the appeal of the characters, and of course, all the promotion that they were doing for the voice actor Seiyu stuff, they attracted a really huge female audience, and this is really significant because, again, this really, told the producers and the executives and that kind of stuff that, hey, this anime can also be sold to women, and so you'll start seeing this, in the next few years, changes that will now address that. Hey, let's stop doing all these, guns, girls, and gore stuff, and let's figure out stuff that we can market to women. Okay, and you'll see a slight shift in that when you get into, like, for example, the magical girl shows and things like that. Okay, so definitely very significant to anime. And of course, if you got one more opportunity, I'll do a top 3 here. And the last one would be Sonic Soldier Borgman. Again, this is probably, the rise of Kiyomiya / Michitaka Kikuchi. He'll bring you all this other good stuff, in the future when you get to, Silent Mobius and whatnot. But definitely, Borgman was a good initial good start for him. So definitely, if you like the Sentai type like shows, might want to check this one out. Okay, and so those are your 3 TV shows that would be worth checking out in this section. Okay, let's move on to OVAs. Now, again, same thing that happened last season. There was a lot of new OVAs. Okay, not all of them are significant and that kind of stuff. But of the ones that I consider really must views and that kind of stuff, I'll pick 4. Obviously, anything that again, this is the rise of Mamorushi and Mashiman Shiro. So my suggestions of those would obviously be the Pat Labor S series OVA. So this is, again, the first trial, 7 episodes, starting off the Pat Labor series. Okay, and again, this will spawn the movies and the TV series later on. They have next thing is Appleseed. Okay, so the Futuristic Police by Mashiman Shiro, and again, also by Mashiman Shiro. Number 3 would be Dominion Tank Police, a nice short 4-episode OVA series. And you can notice that there's sort of this particular season, this whole theme about kind of like police, justice type of things, right? Heck, even if you want to throw in like Samurai Troopers, Borgman, Pat Labor, Appleseed, Dominion, Tokyo Vice, all these shows are very similar in theme, right? But of those, yeah, definitely, I'll definitely check out Pat Labor, Appleseed, and Dominion are basically your top choices in that one. And the 4th one to round everything else off is the Project Echo 3 movie, okay, or OVA, I should say. Those would be your top 4. If you want to squeeze in a 5th one, I'd maybe throw in Peacock King to make it a top 5. But yeah, definitely, if you're limited on time, just stick with those top 4, and then you're good to go. Okay. Now, in this section, there is only 2 significant movies, as I pointed out. In the movie section, your 2 movies is obviously going to be the 2 Studio Ghibli films, My Neighbor Totoro and Grave of the Fireflies. Again, 2 totally different shows. Okay, so don't get me wrong. Not every Studio Ghibli show is a made for kids sort of thing, right? But definitely, yeah, you're going to have great musical score, great animation quality, and a nice round story, high production quality for it, for sure, in terms of cell work and art design. Again, Totoro, very, 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 happy, wholehearted kind of show, and when Grave of the Fireflies is a very, sort of a grim, sort of sad sort of reflection on war and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of, kind of built that kind of way. So definitely, if you're looking for just two quick movies to watch, yeah, My Neighbor Totoro and Grave of the Fireflies. So those are my suggestions for 1988. Second season. Later on, again, I'll have to pit them against each other, against season 1 and season 3 and 4 when I make them, and then let's come up with a best list for 1988. All right, so I hope you found that quite an interesting episode. And so I also want to make a note that even though I'm talking about all these titles and that kind of stuff, you realize that none of the commercial companies, Anime Go and all that kind of stuff, they haven't released anything and won't release anything until 1991, 92. Okay, so we're at 1988. So 4 years from now, you'll start seeing these titles coming out. Even for maybe 5 years from now, actually, because I'm thinking, one of the titles there didn't come out until 92, right? So, so literally, 5 years from now, we'll actually start seeing these titles with an English subtitle. But again, this is sort of that exciting time where I'm going through these magazines. I know what is coming out as according to the magazines and that kind of stuff, and so I'm able to order some of this stuff. And sure, it might take me several months, because placing an order and then it has to get shipped over here by ship, not by airmail or anything like that. It's getting sent here by a ship. So it may require several months for me to get it, but I am going to be years ahead of what the commercial companies have. Again, still at this time, we haven't started fan subbing and we haven't started having things with English subtitles or for definitely not English dubbed the anime right now. We are still watching anime straight in Japanese. We're kind of fighting our way and puzzling our way through these episodes. I mean, this is where I'm very thankful for having Daisuke lead me along through different various different shows and whatnot. I mean, again, I think he also pulled me up and was talking about Sakige no Tujuko, for example, and things like that, Maison Kaku and things shows like that, was all thanks to him. Okay, so again, don't forget to hit your notification and subscribe, because we've obviously got more of this MyAnimeList coming up in the near future. All right, so until next time, see you again.